Good morning, people. Today is Sunday, the 2nd of April 2017. My name's Jan Silver. If you've only just joined me, I've been video logging my journey beginning, during, and I will be after my gastric bypass, which I had 18 days ago. I think I'm 18 days post-surgery today. There was a couple of quick things that I keep forgetting to mention on here to anybody that's actually interested. As far as I'm doing health-wise, I'm amazingly well. I feel really, really good. Just a couple of little issues. I think I've told people, and especially put it on Instagram, I've walked the last 2 days and hit my 10,000 steps, which has been amazing. But I had a few aches and pains the first day, which is totally expected when you haven't done any exercise for such a long time. And sorry, I keep saying, I don't think my head's completely in it. I can't stand dirty glasses. It really bothers me. Sorry. That's better, I think. No, there's a mark just there, but I'm going to try and ignore it for now. Okay. So, yeah. I said to you that my legs were a little bit tender and my hips. Well, last night I realised that inside my tummy, not necessarily even around the scars, I had some slight pulling pains. They weren't major, they weren't massive, they're nothing to call a doctor about. They're just something for me to be totally aware of, and it's definitely muscular. And I just wonder if in the last 2 days I've gone from couch potato to wanting to run a bloody marathon. So I've probably overdone it a little bit, and I knew walking yesterday my fronts of my legs were really, really painful. So I'm sorry, I can't actually ignore it. It's really pissing me off. So yeah, I'm very, very aware of that. And I have a list of questions that I will ask my surgeon. I see him tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So it'll be interesting to find out from him if all of this is normal. I also have on my stitch, which I'm not going to show you my boobs, but here I'm covering up this wound. Don't know whether you can see it, because I hadn't mentioned it before to you guys, but I have, all of my wounds are really dry, lovely. The scabs have come off, the bruising's disappearing. But on this one, it just seemed a slight bit still open. And I picked and prodded at it like you do. And I do remember, my husband and I do remember that Dr. Ramos saying that if the stitches are all dissolvable, but if one didn't, for instance, dissolve on its own, then we could just pick it out. So I've had a little poke around in there. It's not infected, it's not red, it's not inflamed. I only purely cover it because when I sit down like this and I've still got a top belly, my bra is rubbing on it and then it would aggravate it. So I cover it while I've got a bra on. When I'm home and I know nobody else has come, I free the girls, I release them, and then I can take the plaster off. So I'll find out tomorrow. I've got a feeling I managed to find a stitch and pull it, but it didn't come free. Sorry, this is a bit graphic. So what I did was I pulled it with tweezers as far as I could, and then I cut it, and I thought perhaps the skin would then knit around it. It's not as gross as it sounds, actually, because it's all very clean and clear. There's no blood, there's no oozing, no nothing. I just think where there's a slight bit of this nylon-y style stitch, it's not healing because the stitch is still there. So anyway, I did that. I cut it thinking it would heal, when in fact I dug a bit deeper and it's still there, but I can't physically pull it out. So it's really strange. So, excuse me, that's something else I need to talk to Dr. Ramos about. And I'll tell you the list of questions that me and my husband went through this morning that we're going to ask him about. And if there's anything else you think I should be asking, let me know. And also, guys, I know I'm doing this a daily blog, and I said to somebody this morning who was asking me questions through Facebook, hi Hannah, I was saying to her, if you're having your lunch, I hope you're having something nice to eat, that I'm very aware I do this daily because I've got plenty of time on my hands, and I'm quite a chatty person, and I could talk shit all day probably, and I swear a lot. I think I need to warn a lot of people that I swear. I've got a mouth like a sailor. I don't tend to hold back, and I don't really apologise for it either, because it is what it is, and I am what I am. So, that's me. I swear. Obviously, if you don't like it, you wouldn't be watching. So, I just hope it doesn't offend anybody at all. I'm sure it doesn't. So my questions for Dr. Ramos tomorrow are going to be, obviously, talk about the stitch in the wound. I think he'll get a nurse to pull it out, basically, but whereas I can't, just physically can't pull it out of myself. I'm scared that there's a knot deep down and I'm going to undo it all, I don't know. I'll talk to him about the muscle pain I'm getting, which is, they're odd pains because they're very, very tiny and sharp, but they're not, doesn't feel like it's to do with my operation. It's kind of, sometimes it's on the right-hand side of my belly, so it's a little bit strange. Definitely muscular, definitely. I'm presuming that I've probably overdone it walking, that's all. I'm going to ask him what he thinks I should be eating right now. Briefly also, I hadn't told you guys, I put it on Instagram, but I actually have put myself onto solid food. I say solid food, it's soft food. So I've been craving fish, which is quite weird. They do say throughout this bariatric surgery that what you did like prior to surgery, you might not like after, and vice versa. Well, as much as I loved a bit of fish and chips, let's say, a white cod in batter, every now and then, maybe 3 times a year. It wasn't something that our household doesn't run on fish. We're not seafood lovers as such. I like a prawn cocktail every now and then, but since, I don't know, about a week ago, I have been craving white fish, desperately wanting to just have that. So I think it was Friday night, we're now Sunday. Yeah, I said to my husband, I'm going to do it. I'm ready for this softer food. So I bought the ready-made mashed potato in Waitrose. That's only £1. It's probably cheaper to do that than to buy the blinking potatoes and make it yourself anyway. And it was good. You know, it wasn't full of sugars or butter or anything like that. It was okay. So I had like probably a tablespoon of mashed potato. I had a tiny piece of white fish, cod. I had some leeks in a cheese sauce, and I had some spinach. Absolutely delicious, divine, whatever you want to call it. It was really good, really needed. And I made myself a second dinner for yesterday, which I had last night. And I seem to have tolerated that all really, really well. So the soft foods, as we all know that have been here and doing it, you need to chew extremely. You need to puree the food basically through your teeth, and then it can go down softer. And a couple of things that haven't really not agreed with me. I still haven't had this explosive diarrhea or sickness. I really fancied, weirdly, a pickled egg last night. So I had a pickled egg. I probably ate half of it, but it was hard. As in, I chewed and chewed and chewed and chewed and chewed, and the vinegary flavour was lovely, just what I like. But the minute it hit my pouch, it didn't go through my pouch easily, and I could feel it. So I'm very aware now. I'm starting to, I suppose, experiment with different foods. So I actually gave half my egg to my husband, and I was kind of like, oh, that's disappointing. I really like them, but not really. You know, in the long run, if I can only eat half that, that's absolutely fine. And wine. I'm going to make an admission here. I've had a glass of wine. If I drink anything fluid-wise and I take a normal mouthful, I've told you before, it hurts. It goes there only for a few seconds and it's like, oh my word. So I've just found that sipping from a water bottle through a flip top, you have to suck through it, is a lot better than trying to drink from a glass or anything, because you take too much and then you end up giving yourself pain. But with wine, I'm a white wine person anyway. I love a Sauvignon Blanc. So I had a Sauvignon Blanc, and I've always liked it. Well, since Asia, I always like it with ice in it anyway. And I have these huge round ice balls. So I had a very small glass of wine with ice in it, and I did sip it very, very slowly. Nowhere near as fast as I would drink, you know, my juice or my water. And it actually went down really nicely. But I have to be honest and say, I know it's early days and I probably shouldn't have done it, but I'm going to do it. You know, this is my life, my body, and I wanted to test and see how I felt. After the one glass, which possibly spanned longer than an hour, very small glass, way over an hour to drink it, I was done. You know, I wasn't drunk. I'm sure if I'd have drunk it quicker, I would have been. So I didn't get that, you know, you're going to get pissed really, really quickly kind of feeling that I expected. I just got a really nice relaxation, but I didn't need any more. So if that's the way I go in the future, one of my biggest downfalls in life is wine. You know, I drink way too much. My family all drink way too much. And if it makes me drink one glass as opposed to a bottle, then hallelujah, peeps. You know, that's me winning again, because I'm certainly not going to gain weight through the odd little glass of wine every now and then. I'm not going to let it become a habit, but I'm just saying I actually tolerated it, and I did quite well with that. and I really enjoyed it, I have to say. I'm going to ask Dr. Amos if I can start to try salads now. I'm desperate for some more crunch. I want some lettuce and maybe celery, but I'm wondering about chewing celery and it going down like the pickled egg. I don't know, but I'm going to ask him about that. I don't quite know or understand exactly how much protein I should be getting in my body at the moment, so I'm hoping he's going to give me a guideline there with protein. And obviously I'll tell him the Forcival didn't agree with me. Was it the Forcival, was it the iron tablet, or was it the biotin? I don't know. But I'll get his advice on what else I should be taking or how I should be taking those vitamins. I need to ask him about laxatives and how to help myself go to the toilet if I get in trouble again. Are the glycerin suppositories okay? Can I take a normal Ducalax laxative, or should it be an easier one on my tummy? So that's a question I need to ask him. And my weight loss, the last 2 days, having walked 26,000 miles, I'd be dead, 26,000 steps in the 2 days, my weight loss has stopped. So I'm not going to let that upset me because it's such early days for me yet. And I also know that us bariatric patients have a lot of natural stalls, meaning that your weight loss plateaus for some time. And it could be that my body's gone into a little bit of a kind of a shock that, oh, you're exercising, hang on a minute. You know, I'm actually not taking enough calories in, I don't think, to warrant the amount of calories I lost or used through walking. So it's another question for him. And also, when can I get back in the gym? That's something else I really want to know. And also the next thing is when am I due? When will I be due for my first B12 injection? So they're the kind of things I'm going to be taking into my consultation tomorrow with my surgeon and see how we go. I'm sure he's going to be really happy with my progress. I'm still 24 pound down, you know, another 4 pound and I'm 2 stone lost. And that to me is amazing. Anyway, guys, again, apologies for the bare-faced, wet hair, just got out the shower look, but I've got a really busy day on today. It's now 5 to 11. I've got my son and his girlfriend, my brother and his girlfriend coming for a lunch, which I'm cooking Sunday roast. I'll be having a bit of fish. Oh, and I also bought some halloumi. I really fancied watching somebody else's Instagram. They had the grilled halloumi, so I might actually have that for my lunch today with some soft bits and pieces. We'll see. But I feel well enough to be able to stand up and cook a roast dinner and entertain today, which will be really, really nice. Nice to see everybody. And then my daughter, son-in-law and granddaughter are popping in also. So today's going to be manic, hence why I was getting this video up and running today. And if you're bored because I'm vlogging daily, I'm sorry. You can pick and choose what you watch. And what I should try and do is tell you underneath exactly what I'm talking about, I guess. So you can choose whether you sit through my boring vlog or not. If you haven't already, click like and subscribe. I'm on Instagram, looking on the lighter side of life. Follow my journey. Thanks for all of those who do, and I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. Take care. Bye.